So, dobre wieczór. I hope I said it close enough. Yes, my name is Sampo. I'm the guy you can blame for this thing called mobility as a service. How many of you have heard about that? Okay, at least a few. So by the end of this 10 minutes, I should be good enough to talk you out of your car. So outside, I'm waiting with money, and let's see what happens. The concept of mobility as a service, it's a strange thing. Coming from Finland, it's gotten me just about everywhere in the world. It seems to be the buzzword now, which kind of makes me want to believe in the world. We hear all these bad news, but at the same time, hey, here's a guy coming from a country really north there, a small civil engineer, and all of a sudden everybody talks about a concept that you made up a long time ago. Now, what is it? When you think about mobility as a service, or you think about what's going to happen in transportation, few things I want you to have in your mind. First of all, it is about disruption. I come from transport sector myself, and one of those things that made me come up with what could it be was to think, hey, would be a bit naive to say that, hey, there was a disruption in media, banking, all of these, but no, transportation will remain the same. So if you believe me that there's a disruption, then the next question is, how will it look like? And oftentimes it's not about technology. We have technology enough. It's about asking the right question. Now, I would argue that this question here will be the biggest question not only for sustainability, for keeping the goals for lowering emissions in our society, but even more so. And I've tried this in front of many big, good economists. It's the biggest question for world economic growth for the next decades. Let's see if I can prove that to you or get you in the same frame of mind. Now, asking this question, you're allowed to think about just yourself. If you have a car or you know someone who just might have a car, what would be more? What would I have to promise to you, not to the society, not to all of these, to you, so that you'd feel that, okay, I could give it up and I could give the money to this strange Finnish guy. I've given over 2,000 speeches about this, and strangely, I'm still not tired of it. When I go, and after this, we go over for cocktails, and hopefully you've thought about it, you probably say the same thing where it boils down to. This will not solved on a map. You cannot solve this on a map. It will be solved right here. And whenever I ask this, what would be more, people say, well, yeah, I could do with all of these things. But if you could promise, if I could promise to you personally, anywhere, anytime, on a whim, meaning spontaneously. This is the T-Ford of mobility. Now, what does it mean? Car will give you a coverage of roughly about 4 hours in Europe, normal Europe. Up in the northern Finland, we drive 7 hours for a beer. We do strange things, maybe a bit more than in some other places. So this is what I have to promise. When you go and buy your car, you're not thinking about your A to B, your next trip, or not even the next week. You're thinking about 1 year ahead. Am I covered for all my trips? Not 90%, all your trips. If I can promise this, then I might be onto something. And I actually can. If I am capable of utilizing all the different modes of transportation, everything put in one simple thing, then I have a chance. I can look at any one of you and take all your annual trips and take care of all of those excuses one at a time and say, because I have public transport, I have taxis, I have cars, I have bikes, I have scooters, I have trains, I have everything. I can actually guarantee you all of this. And actually, because it is about dreams, I can do even more. Because there are enough of these everywhere, all of those phenomena that we need for mobility as a service, they exist everywhere. I can actually give you the whole world. Now, that means we have to put all of those things in one app. People expect a lot. They want simplicity. They really do that. We have to take all of those pain points in transportation, really dig deep into the individual minds, all of these things, and just put them in one, whether they're taxi, bike, public transport, train, whatever, and just simplify. What you have to sell to people to be able to be better or more than owning a car is one app, one subscription. When I tell to normal people, hey, if I gave you a subscription, just like you buy your mobile phone, all your connections, physical ones, in one, and we'll take care of it. We have all of those things. We have taxis and all of that. And we even have a garage full of cars for you. Because probably many of you will have a car, but not many of you will have your dream car, I would argue. So through us, when you use it every now and then, why don't pick up something better? Now, what happened, we've been doing this for quite a while. 3 places, the first one's in Helsinki, where we've tried. And yes, at the same time, selling people the dream, we can also affect the society, get them more in public transport, even do this strange thing that the whole transport sector has been doing, or trying to do, which is multimodality. But it's not the map thing. It is about serving people, and they will start using it. Be able to save quite a lot on emissions. And many will say, I'll save you that question over the cocktails. You will say that, well, we Polish people, we love to own our cars. That's not true. The one that will say that to me is, I get to say that, it will be a 40-plus man, and we hold the rest of the world hostage. According to all of the studies, no, the young ones don't. They'd like to live a good life, but they're underserved, so they're kind of forced to buy a car. People are, when they're served, also willing to change their behavior quite a lot towards sustainable if it's made easy. And you would also think that it's only for millennials, but this really surprised me as a transport engineer. Out of the 100,000 customers, it's pretty evenly spread out. About 30% are plus 50. There's a lot of men over 50 that actually do use our app and sell their cars, which is strange. Like I said, it is about dreams, so it goes a bit like this. First, convenience, health, sustainability, and only then cost. If you try to sell people effectivity, they'll resort back to their cars. They need dreams. Now, why is this important? It's because the whole ecosystem changes. Now, when I tell this to normal people, everybody says, yeah, I get it, I want it, where is it? Now, please, come for me. I want a subscription for mobility, not 20 apps or 50 apps. But since we love power games, everybody tries to control this, and that's why we start ending up in these where we split the cake, either multiple winners, I control everything. As a public transportation, I control everything, or someone else, I control everything. Now, the worst thing in the field of mobility, because it's big, you can only produce this in an open ecosystem where there's an end-to-end relationship with the aggregators like us and the actual transportation. Now, if we think that the demand, how people consume their transportation changes, it definitely changes our cities, doesn't it? Cities are built, it was year 39 when this Futurama in New York was introduced, and we still live that Futurama. You think of a city, of Krakow, and you think of corridors. If we do not have cars as a main reason for, or main thing for doing our mobility, then it will no longer be corridors. The cities will look more, and it will be based in your head through hubs. If we can do that future, that also speeds up the evolution. If you think of it, if you're a city now, and we know that the disruption will be around cars. People will not own their cars in some years. This is hard to say. Sorry, car industry. It doesn't mean the death of car industry, so you don't have to shoot me yet. I'll come back to that in one day, but we will still need those cars. But the structure of city will definitely change. So the sooner you get into pluggable, hub-based city, the better it is. And now, this is the time as a startup CEO where I lose the rest of my credibility, thank you, by saying that it's not about our innovation. The biggest innovation in this field happened in the field of regulation. The cities and governments need to own the market vision, not us. Because the city there is the thing that we all utilize. So it's you who should be making the rules, not me, not anyone else. It's not going to be easy, but it's doable. Remember, to solve this still, car is a dream. So the disruption will also be about dreams. Unless we provide people with access to what they dream of, we're not going to solve this. So that was my quick learning of 15 years of doing mobility as a service. Hope you got all the secrets out. Thank you.